Ken just pooped out.
Okay. All right, we're good to go.
Okay. We return now to open session at 7:06 p.m. with nothing to report from closed session. Delight?
Yes, I would like to untable action item D that we had originally tabled to add it back on the agenda. I'd like to make a motion for that.
Okay, I will second that motion. All those in favor of that, returning that item to the agenda, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We now move on to item 4, public comment, oral communications, non-agenda items. The public, including public attending a teleconference location, are invited to address the board regarding items not listed on the agenda. No individual presentation shall be for more than 3 minutes, and the total time for this purpose shall not exceed 15 minutes. Ordinarily, board members will not respond to presentations and no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a presentation. Please turn to the request to address the OPA Board of Directors form and submit it in order to address the Oxford Preparatory Academy Board of Directors. Do we have any requests to address the board?
We have no request to address the board tonight.
All right, we'll move on to item 5, consent items. And we have 3. A, the minutes from the regular meeting of the OPA Board of Directors on July 30th, 2020. B, the OPA personnel report. And C, the Pacific Life Foundation 3 T's of Education grant to OPA South Orange County campus in the amount of $5,500. The 3 T's of Education program helps fund K through 12 schools in technology, textbooks, and teacher training. It is recommended the board approve consent items A, B, and C. Do I
make a motion to approve consent items A, B, and C and thank Pacific Life for their donations to OPA.
I will second that and second the expression of appreciation. All those in favor of the consent agenda items say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this motion passes by a vote of 2-0. Next up is 6, items scheduled for presentation. Presentations are limited to 10 minutes. First up is A, the OPA school reopening plan for fall 2020 with Dr. Carneo.
Okay. All right, so I need to organize my screen for a minute. And I just wanted to kind of quickly share, we had some great PD today with our teachers. Everybody came back together. It was great to see everyone. And our site administrators hosted a great session where we really kind of dug into all of the things that we have coming up this year and all of the different activities that we are going to be doing. I know we're starting the school virtually, so this year does look a lot different than last year or any other year ever in probably the history of education. But we really think that we have provided a program that will still be able to make sure that that our teachers and our students and our families are having the best possible outcomes and the best possible programs. So still providing really rigorous standards-based instruction, all different subject areas, as well as enrichment activities for students, social emotional learning, PE, all of the different topics, world language, music, all of the things that people really, all of the reasons why people come to OPA and what makes OPA special. So, so in order to make that all work virtually, as well as provide students all small group time to really have that face-to-face interaction with their teachers and get support when they need it, we had to create a pretty complex schedule, and we sort of modeled it after a high school schedule. So basically what we did is we assigned every kid from TK through 8th grade the same schedule or the same type of schedule that they will have when they enter 9th grade. So we broke up the day into different periods and assigned students for each one of their classes into those different periods, as well as assigning different days. So for certain classes, like elementary school music only meets twice a week, still in virtual learning like it did when we were in seat-based learning. And so some students might have music Monday, Wednesday, some students might have music Tuesday, Thursday in various different periods. So, so we have this nine period schedule. Not all students have all 9 periods. It's just that's the periods that we had to fit into the day to make sure that students were able to get all of those different classes and experiences that they would have gotten were we in a seat-based environment. 0 period, no students actually have a 0 period class. So students don't start at 8. Most students will start at either 8:30 or 9 o'clock. The older students start a little bit later. Middle school starts at 9 o'clock instead of 8:30. But most of the rest of the students will start it at 8:30. And then for the end of the day periods, most of those periods are for things like enrichment or homework club, some music, world language, PE classes, keeping most of the students' academic, core academic classes in the morning. So this is a copy of what some different grade level schedules look like. And if you have high school kids, these probably look a little familiar to you because these are the same schedules that Aries, our student information system, spits out for high school students. So the schedules that your students, that our students will be receiving will look a little bit different. These are the scheduling masters or the scheduling schedules, but having the same type of information. So this first schedule is a transitional kindergarten student. So first period for that student, Monday through Friday, they're going to be doing English, language arts, and math alternating days because kindergarten really is only a half day schedule. So so for them, they actually alternate days between ELA and math, and then social studies and science. So then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, science and social studies. If you look here, 5th period, this student, this particular student, and all students will have, this doesn't mean that every TK student's schedule will look like this. This is just a sample of what a TK schedule could look like. They might have on Fridays, PE, on Mondays, 5th period, small group, and then those music, which is actually an optional, more of an enrichment class for our PK through 5 students, for this student, they would have that 7th period. So like I said, not all students have every period because we do want to give students some breaks so that they're not staring at a screen for 4 hours straight during the day. Kids need to get up and move around, take some breaks, get some lunch, do kind of different things throughout the day. But we do want to make sure that our teachers are the ones who are providing the instruction for students and we're not leaving it to parents. So most of the instruction that students will be receiving will be synchronous instruction. We are really cutting down the amount of asynchronous instruction because, again, we know parents are working, have other children that are at home with them. So so we want to kind of make sure that those teachers are interacting with and engaging with the students for a wide range of time each day. And they're the ones who are providing them instruction just like they would be in a classroom. So same types of activities, same types of direct instruction, supports, small groups, things like that. It's just that they'll be doing it virtually, engaging the kids versus sitting across from them in a classroom setting. So you can kind of look, kindergarten has more classes because they have a full day schedule because we have full day kindergarten. But you can kind of see how it's broken down. We don't actually for elementary school, period 3, if you saw on the bell schedule in the previous slide, is actually just a kind of a break time for our elementary school students. So no elementary kids will have a third period. You might be looking at that thinking it's kind of weird that nobody has a third period. That's actually a period only for middle school kids. Fourth period, then you can kind of see how that works out for students. So each of the periods, the days of the week, and then what classes they have, and then middle school. The difference between middle school and one of the differences is that our middle school kids have small groups for both math and ELA. So those would be on at different times with their math and ELA teachers, but also allowing them the opportunity to still take world language, and then allowing each student also once a week to have PE, where they're going to check in with their PE teachers, get different ideas for activities that they can do during the week. And then the students will kind of do a PE log of their PE time throughout the week. But we wanted to have that one-on-one or that in face-to-face interaction between the PE teachers and all of the students, so that they can give them ideas. They can do exercises together, things like that, play videos, exercise videos, things like that, and have them do different activities. So one of the big things, I mean, that the state is really pushing, and it really is just a best practice, is that kids need to have face-to-face interaction with teachers and with fellow students. We can't just stick kids on an online program and tell them to do their work themselves. It might work for some kids who are really self-motivators and can do that. But for a vast majority of our kids, especially our younger kids, they need to have that teacher motivating them and engaging them and exciting them about learning, and providing them all sorts of different activities and learning strategies, and also having that interaction with their peers. So being able to talk to other kids, even if it is virtually, or go in small groups and work on projects virtually with their peers. So we really thought that that was very important. And so all of our schedules really take that into account. And then kind of what I mentioned before is, we don't want parents to feel like they have to be the ones teaching their kids during virtual learning. Our teachers are experts. They're incredibly knowledgeable, and they've been trained to provide instructions. So we want to lean on their expertise and still have them being the ones that are providing instruction for students. Have them, not have parents feel like it's homeschool, but more have kids feel like they're actually going to class. They're just doing it virtually instead of in person, and to try to provide as much normalcy for our students and our families as possible. And then this would be kind of what a normal teacher's schedule would look like. So you can see, like for a middle school teacher, they'd have their normal 2 different groups of students like they do when we're on campus. So a group of, so if you're a 7th grade ELA teacher, you'd have your morning ELA kids for ELA and social studies, pretty much exactly like they do when they're on campus. And then you'd switch and have your second group of ELA and social studies kids while these other kids were in with their math and science teachers. So the middle school schedule is very similar to what it was like when we were on campus in the mornings for those core classes. And then the teachers have their small group time where they get to meet with 5 or 6 students and really have more conversations and interaction and collaboration between the students and between the teacher, and more tailor that instruction to the individual needs of particular students, providing supports or providing enrichment for students who just need a little bit extra. So being able to really tailor that and make it individualized in those small groups for students. And then not necessarily that this is, again, just a sample, but we are going to have all of our teachers are going to, starting after Labor Day, once we kind of get things rolling a little bit and have a chance to have the students select, but we are going to have by grade span. So like TK through 2, 3 through 5, and 6 through 8. Teachers are going to offer twice a week some type of club or enrichment activity or elective type class that kids can sign up for, sort of like majors, but we're going to have it every week. So just to provide more of that social interaction time for students and a fun time where kids can get together and do fun things, not just, in an academic class. And our teachers have come up with all sorts of great ideas already for different things that they can do during this time with kids. And then also twice a week, having like a homework club or office hours, so that if students have questions, like I said, we're going to try to do most of the instruction during the synchronous time and most of the work for the kids during the synchronous time. But if they do have questions or they need a little bit of extra help or support, then they can go and they can join those office hours. For every student, at least once a week, they'll have that opportunity to go to their teacher's office hours. Same thing with 5th grade. So this sample schedule, you can kind of see what this would look like for a 5th grade teacher. In here from 8:30 to 9, this teacher would be on prep, but her students may be in PE during that time, or in music during that time, or in other classes during that time. So that's not to say that every 5th grade student doesn't start until 9:15. Actually, most of them start at 8:30. They're just doing their sort of non-core classes during that time in the morning. So the teachers and our site administrators are going to go over the schedules in a little bit more detail with parents and with students when we go back during our sort of modified meet your professor time and our meet your admin time. They've also come up with a Google Doc that kids or parents are going to fill out with all the Zoom links for the classes, the times for each one of the classes, the subjects, so that it's really clear on one piece of paper exactly where to click. So if it's 9:15 on a Tuesday, you'll know, your kid will know exactly where to click. They click that link, it takes them directly to whatever class they have at 9:15 on a Tuesday, and be able to, not have parents and students trying to keep track of all of the Zooms and the different classes and the different things that are going on. And then also having teachers all using Google Classroom and their website. So all teachers will have a little something about themselves and kind of general information on their website. And it'll be directly linked to their Google Classroom. And parents will actually have view access to the Google Classrooms, not using their kids' email, but actually being able to use their own email, so they can keep up to date with all the different things that are going on easily in the class, and know at any given time exactly, what their students are doing in class, and if there's anything, assignments coming up or anything that they need to kind of monitor with their students. And then just keeping the Aries grade books up to date on a very frequent time frame, because we know that parents are having to be a little bit more involved in making sure their kids are doing their work. So we want to make sure that parents can quickly log into the portal and be able to see if their student is missing any assignments right away, and kind of jump on that, because the teacher's not standing right there next to them at school, making sure that they're doing their assignments. So and so I know, parents also want to still really be involved since their kids are at home. So we want to give them a lot of ways to do that, but without making it overly complicated for them. So so that's kind of what we have going on, and we're really excited about the program that we have for our students and for our staff and for our families. Any questions? I will stop sharing.
Questions from the board?
When will the schedule be shared?
So tomorrow night, parents will receive instructions on how to access the schedule through the Aries portal. So they'll be able to log in and see their student schedule and their teacher, as long as they have completed data confirmation. If they haven't completed data confirmation, then they do have to make sure and complete that online process, and then their schedule will show up for them.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Canan. Next up is item B, OPA SD school report with Mr. Bridges.
And I think Mr. Bridges and Ms. Alvarado are actually going to share together. So we're going to combine those two items if it is okay with the board.
Would you like me to share, Miss Alvarado?
Yes, please.
Perfect. Okay, so in preparation for the first day of school, both campuses have already gone through their drop-off and pickup days. So this is kind of a picture of what Honor Hall and Saddleback Valley looked like prior to the distribution of materials. We pulled curriculum from classrooms. We dug around in sea containers to pull curriculum, housed it all in Honor Hall, and Mrs. Merlette organized it very nicely. And on the day of our pickup events, you can see the sea container mess that I created. I apologize. We actually had a very successful drop-off and pickup. It was very smooth, very organized. I want to thank all of the professors that came out to help, all the staff members that came out to help. I also want to thank all the families that, they followed the directions, they submitted their paperwork, they had their signs, they had their masks. So everybody was on board, and it was great to see the families and the students again, and to have quick conversations with them. I want to thank Honor Society. We're not able to have first day donuts this year, so Honor Society provided OPA bracelets for each of our students. And it was fun to see the excitement that the students had when they received their stack of curriculum and their bracelets. So it was a great day. On the bottom center, you can see our temperature and check-in station for staff members. So we started the process last Friday of every staff member coming in, logging in, taking their temperature, answering a few questions. If they did not have a mask, there were masks provided for them. And we're following all the safety protocols that are in the reopening plan. Ms. Alvarado?
And at the SOC campus, very similar to what happened at the SV campus. First, I want to thank, all of our staff members, the majority, everybody was there helping out, not only sorting, in previous days before this all happened. And they were there many hours trying to put things together for every grade level. If you can imagine, gathering materials for 850 students on our campus is not an easy task. It's a lot of work. We were all sweating, we were all lifting, we were all taking care of things. And you know what? We did it all with a lot of love and knowing that this was going to be, we all knew it was going to be a hard, difficult task, but we all did it because we know that this is what is best for our kids. And our staff that day, they were excited to see their students, quickly getting to meet with them as they were passing out the books. You can see here stacks of books, our staff members wearing their mask and being safe, and a line of cars. We started last Friday at both campuses. And it was, we started at 9 a.m. and we were there till 4:30 distributing. And then same thing on Monday and also on Tuesday. So 3 long days of lots of work, lots of smiling faces. Our parents were beyond grateful. Every single parent that was coming through the line, they had a smile on their face. They had lots of questions, but they were happy to see us and we were happy to see them as well.
And I just wanted to add, I want to thank Mr. Ortiz, our IT department, because we did and were able to distribute many Chromebooks to our families. So thank you to Joel for prepping all of those, getting those ready to go. And we will have makeup days. So SV's makeup day will be on Monday. Information has already been sent out to families. And Ms. Alvarado, yours is on Tuesday, I believe, correct?
Yes. And I also want a huge thank you to our custodian, also Luis Ornelas. He has been preparing, helping us prepare ahead of time and getting things done. So big thank you to Luis Ornelas, our custodian, who has done a tremendous job as well. So you want to continue, Mr. Bridges?
Sure. So yesterday we had our new teacher orientation day. I was able to snap a little shot of all of our new teachers. I believe we had, and staff members, we had 14 new teachers and staff members attend the event. It was great to not only get to meet them and introduce themselves, we were able to find out their spirit animals. Each one had a spirit animal, and they were able to share what their spirit animal was and why. You know, and the agenda included icebreakers, MI, GATE, the employee handbook, specific site announcements. But it was great to get to meet all of these fantastic teachers because they bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to our organization. And we're really excited to have all of them on board. And we're excited for them to meet their students because, you know, it's going to be great to see the interactions and to not only share the OPA experience with these new teachers, but the OPA experience with our new families as well. So we're excited about that.
And if I may add, I'm sorry, Mr. Bridges, can you go back? Just if I may add that all of our new teachers have been introduced and the majority of them have already met with their grade level teams. So they all know who their grade level teams are, even before school started. And they've been in communication, they've been collaborating before school started on their own. So I just want to commend our brand new teachers that we are impressed with their professionalism and already in their eagerness to get started. They're excited, and we're excited to welcome them all to our organization and to both of our schools.
And we can't forget to thank Mrs. Sessions and Mrs. Whitehead, Ms. Whitehead, for putting the presentation together and organizing. So thank you to both of them.
Communication. Oh, did you jump one?
I jumped one. I apologize.
Go ahead.
So professional development coming up. Today we had our academic expectations, PBIS, special education, IEP, social emotional learning, distance learning, employee handbook. It was a long day, but it was great to see everybody together again. Tomorrow, our teachers will have their science training. Monday, they will have their math training.
And also, if I may just add about the training in between, so they'll be doing half the day with the training for science and math, and the other half, they'll be collaborating in teams as well. So they'll have 2 days this week to collaborate in teams. In terms of the communication, it is going to be extremely important for us to have a strong communication between home and school. Now more than ever, just because of the situation that we're in with COVID-19 and distance learning. But we both chancellors at both sites, we have weekly Sunday messages that go out at 6 p.m. every single week. So please make sure that you check your email every single week because we put a lot of information in there. We gather weekly information that is important for you to have and important for you to know. And also just a lot of different topics that we cover on campus, and also celebrations and things that we just want to share with you throughout the year. Also, our school web pages are up and running. We are in the process of improving and making sure that our teacher web pages are updated. They will actually be getting some training coming up so that every single one of our teachers know how and have the support to to improve and enhance their school web pages for those who already have it. And then, go ahead.
I was just gonna say with the chancellor messages on Sunday, Ms. Alvarado and I work together and collaborate to put in all information for the organization, and then we add our site-specific information to that. So we want to make sure that it's consistent information that's being provided to our families for the organization, but also it has site-specific information.
Yes. And last but not least, social media. We want to make sure that you guys are following on Facebook and also Instagram. On this Sunday message, we will be sending you guys, all parents, the link so you guys can follow us. And also our Honor Society has as well an Instagram. So we will be including that information on our Sunday message so that everybody can follow us and you get great pictures and lots of information in a different format.
All right, so upcoming events. So as Dr. Kernan was saying, Friday families will receive information on how to log into the parent portal to get their scheduling and reveal their teacher. Wednesday, the 19th, we'll have a virtual Meet Your Administration meetings. We are going to conduct those meetings in grade spans, for example, K2, 3, 5, and then 6, 8. During those informations, we'll provide organization information, site-specific information. We'll walk through the schedules with the parents, and we'll also be able to answer any questions that they may have. Ms. Alvarado and I are going to put a presentation together and hopefully be able to share that with the families prior so that they can have their questions ready and when they come to the event. And then we have our virtual Meet Your Class that afternoon, where the professors will send invites to their students and they will participate in an icebreaker activity. The kids will get to meet each other, get to meet the professor, and it'll be 45 minutes of fun. So we're super excited for the school year to begin. All this preparation during the summer. Was a lot of preparation, a lot of meetings, but it's well worth it once these kids start school and everybody sees the product that we are able to put forth. So that's all I had. Ms. Alvarado, do you want to add anything?
Yes, I just want to let everyone know that we are very excited to start the new school year. Mr. Bridges and I will be collaborating throughout the year, and we have lots of great things coming up. Besides the instruction, which is number one, we have lots of great things for our students to enjoy and to continue to have the traditions and lots of things that we do at OPA that make OPA a great place to be for students, for staff members, and also for our families. So I can't wait to start the school year. It's going to be a great one. I would actually say it's going to be an amazing year. Thank you.
And I forgot a slide, so I apologize. So the 20th and the 21st, professors will email parents and start setting up individual family unit meetings with the teacher on the 20th and 21st. So look out for those emails. And then our first day of academic instruction will be on the 24th. So I think that's the last slide. The last one says thank you. That is all we have. I yield the floor.
Thank you.
Fantastic. That wraps up items scheduled for presentation. We go down to 7, board reports, comments. Ms. Travis, do you have a board report or comment to share?
I just want to thank everybody for all the hard work that you're putting in going online for the fall. You know, it's not an easy task to undertake, and I'm really excited for our students to experience everything that's being proposed. So thank you all for all your hard work.
Thank you. And I will second those comments as well. We now move on to 8 executive directors report.
Hey, I think we're hearing several concepts here. We're hearing about collaboration, deep collaboration. I want to talk a little bit about thriving. I think we're hearing about exceptionalism in OPA and evidence of that. So I'm going to make just a couple brief remarks that hopefully will enhance but not repeat what we just heard. I want to bring to your attention that this morning there was an online OC forum about how schools can help students and their families to not only survive but thrive. And Dr. Hernan participated in this forum hosted by our Orange County Superintendent of Education, Dr. Maharis, and she discussed how our Oxford Preparatory Academy programs help our students achieve not only surviving, but how they're going to thrive this year. I want to highlight how we're going to do that in terms of our student support systems. When we open on August 19th, lunch will be provided to students at the Saddleback Valley campus. It's for both the Saddleback Valley and SOC students. And we're going to have curbside pickup for you on Monday and Wednesdays. But there will be 5 meals per week distributed. We're going to ask you to pre-order to avoid waste, families, and that will begin the second week of school. We've already just pre-ordered for the first week. We are expecting that our partnerships with YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach will begin on August 19th. If there are changes, you will be contacted. But we're looking at full day childcare and tutoring, but also having the option for part day afternoon enrichment activities that are outdoor based, getting your kids to get their yayas out. So 2 different kinds of programs. We will post the links to them. You sign up through them. And we know that kids just need those opportunities to socialize. Parents, we know you need to work and get a break. So again, I think these are ways that we're exceptional compared to some of the other schools' offerings. And we're providing socio-emotional curriculum and mental health services. We're offering grade level enrichment each week. And our instructional program continues to provide music, world languages, PE, and that balance between synchronous and asynchronous instruction and just physical activity, and just building enjoyment and opportunities to build relationships into our program. We're here to help you and your students thrive. We got your back. And again, we welcome you to the new school year. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be history making, and let us know how we can improve. Thank you.
Thank you. Up next is items scheduled for action. First up is A, approve the 2020-2021 master contract between OPA and Speech and Learning Center to provide special education services. Speech and Language Development Center will provide specialized educational services to students from Oxford Preparatory Academy, South Orange County campus for the 2020-2021 school year per the student's individualized education program. It is recommended the board approve action item A. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve action item A.
Do I have a second? That's me. I second. All right. Do we have someone who's going to present on this?
This is renewing our contract with the Speech and Language Development Center from last year for a student who attends that campus.
Okay. Do you have any questions, comments from the board? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving action agenda item A, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This motion passes. Next up is B, approve the 2020-2021 master contract between OPA and Mardan School to provide special education services. Mardan School will provide specialized educational services to students from Oxford Preparatory Academy, Saddleback Valley for the 2020-2021 school year per the student's individualized education program. It's recommended the board approve action agenda item B. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve action item B of the agenda.
Do I have a second? I do. Okay. Anyone speaking on this?
Similar to the previous action item, this is also to renew a contract with Mardan to provide instruction for 2 of our students from Saddleback Valley.
Okay. Any questions or comments from Ms. Travis? Seeing none. All those in favor of approving action agenda item B, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? This motion passes. Next up is C, approve the 2020-2021 master contract between OPA and eLuma to provide occupational therapy services. eLuma will provide occupational therapy services to students from Oxford Preparatory Academy for the 2020-2021 school year. It is recommended the board approve action agenda item C.
I make an motion to approve action agenda item letter C.
I'll second that. Anybody to speak on this?
So this is a contract for teletherapy, for occupational therapy for our several of our special education students. Since we are virtual, it was actually much more cost effective as well as more service effective to hire a company who really specializes in providing occupational therapy through virtual learning. So they have all of the resources, the platform, and their providers are fully licensed and very experienced, and all experienced also not just at providing occupational therapy for schools, but also at providing occupational therapy in a virtual environment. So we're reducing our costs for OT services by more than 50%, and also getting that highly effective virtual teletherapy.
Kernan, can you explain kind of what occupational therapy services that we typically provide?
So these would be services to kind of get students ready to be able to or improve students functioning in certain academic and life skills, such as improving their fine and gross motor skills, improving their typing skills, improving their, for the younger kids, those fine motor skills of cutting and manipulating objects, things like that. And so we do have several students who receive those services per their IEP. And because it is such a kind of a unique hands-on type service, we really do want to make sure that we have people who are really well trained in being able to provide those kind of usually services that you would have to be right next to a student providing that one-on-one, but who have those resources and that knowledge of how they can provide it the most effective way through the virtual learning environment.
Are there any questions or comments from the board? All right, seeing none. All those in favor of approving action agenda item D, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This motion passes. And I meant action agenda item C. I apologize. Next up is action agenda item D. Approve the services agreement between OPA and the YMCA 2020-2021. The YMCA will provide before and after school childcare services on both campuses for the 2020-2021 school year. It's recommended the board approve action item D. Ms. Marks, would you care to speak on this?
I will. We have a proposal from the YMCA to provide childcare, recreational, and academic support services for 2021. We're looking at a one-year contract at this point. We're renewing our contract with them. YMCA has provided services for us in the past. We're looking at ensuring that there is maximum safety and health provisions in the contract and performed by YMCA, and they have indicated as such. So this would be, they're offering what we anticipate as parents who need full day support, childcare support for their children. This is an option for them. At this point, what we're looking at is we're finalizing the agreement and asking for you to provide me with the authority to finalize the agreement and sign on behalf of the board, and with a target date of providing these services to parents on August 19th.
Okay. So let's, so we can discuss it. Do I have a motion to approve this?
I make a motion to approve action item D with the amended language to authorize Ms. Marks, our executive director, to finalize and execute the necessary agreements for this by August 19th.
Okay, and I'll second that. Is there any conversation? Is there any conversation on that point, Ms. Travis?
No, I'm good.
I am too. Okay. All those in favor of approving action item D say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This motion passes as so modified. Next up is E, approve the services agreement between OPA and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America 2020-2021. The Boys and Girls Club of America will provide recreational services on both campuses for the 2020-21 school year. It is recommended the board approve action agenda item E. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, you have a motion to approve action item E.
Awesome, and I will second that. Any discussion? Content?
I would you like me to explain a little bit about
Yeah, you can
this?
Sure.
And probably as I'm coming to define recreational a little bit more clearly, Boys and Girls Club of actually it should be Laguna Beach. So I apologize from that because this was published a little earlier than my direct conversations that I had with them. The Boys and Girls Clubs of America are actually separate 501c3s, and the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach is its own separate 501c3. They operate several programs in South Orange County, and the proposal is to provide an after-school enrichment program at SOC and Saddleback Valley campuses, effective August 19th. This is a part-time program in that parents would be able to enroll their students directly through the Boys and Girls Club of Laguna Beach. And it would be a 5-day program from 1 to 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, except for holidays. And again, it's the focus here is on activity and getting your kids to, be able, they have a great curriculum. They have art, they have socio-emotional development, they have recreation. So this is where kids are going to just be active. Right now it's in the afternoon only. But if that's what, we're listening to our parents. And again, we want to provide these supports and safety valves for our families and our students.
Okay. Seeing so, any comments, Ms. Travis?
None.
All right, all those in favor of approving action item E, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? This motion passes unanimously. Next up is adjournment. It's recommended the board adjourn the regular meeting.
Actually, we have one more item, Mr. Haney. We have a F on there. Do you see that?
F.
See that on your copy?
No. Let's see, do I have an old version?
If you go to the one and click on the one on the front page of the website, that should be the newest version.
Okay. Let me find the newest. I pulled this one off of the email, so let me.
That may have been added after the weekend when you got that.
Or it might be an older email, so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. Nope, I don't want this now. Is that? Let's see, board of directors,
Website, pull it down.
agendas.
There's actually a little button right on the front page of the website, but you can go to agendas too.
Okay, let me find. F, approve the 2020-2021 Consolidated Application for funding for OPA. The Consolidated Application, CONAP, is used by the California Department of Education, CDE, to distribute categorical funds from various federal programs to county offices, school districts, and direct funded charter schools throughout California. It is recommended the board approve action agenda item F. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, I make a motion to approve action item F.
I make a motion to I second your motion. And do we have someone who's going to speak on the mercurial item F?
Yes. So this is our application in order to receive our federal title money. We're applying for Title I money, which is money to provide services to low-income students. Also Title II money, which is money for providing professional development for our teachers, and Title IV money, which is providing educational resources for students to help to decrease the achievement gap and improve access to instruction. So in order for us to apply for that funding from the federal government, we need to turn in a consolidated application every year. So this is just really renewing the application. We turned one in as well last year to receive our title money.
Okay. All those in favor, any comments, Ms. Travis? Seeing none. All those in favor of action item F, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this motion passes. That takes us now to what I thought was up next, which is the adjournment. It's recommended that we adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yes, you have a motion to adjourn.
I second that. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this motion passes, and we are adjourned at 7:57 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you.